souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing? Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all and more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody played cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all and more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody played cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all and more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri. The friendly neighborhood ghost is here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody played cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri the ghosty girl steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all and more to Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri the ghosty girl. Just a normal day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri, the friendly neighborhood ghost, here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri, the ghosty girl, steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. Just a normal day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri, the friendly neighborhood ghost, here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri, the ghosty girl, steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. Just a normal day, or so we thought. Suddenly lost control, now you're caught. What is going on? Well, can't you see? You're under the control of Riri, the friendly neighborhood ghost, here to check in on all the lovely souls under her possession, hoping to give herself a taste of what it's like to be not as clumsy. The ghosty girl who goes to game. What she doing, what she playing. Everybody playing cool, it's the coolest of the ghouls. Strong will end, a lot of ambition. Can't see through them like apparitions. Determined to bring only the best. Get in the way, be her guest. Riri, the ghosty girl, steals your body, steals the show. Klutzy and a little forgetful, but meeting her is unforgettable. She's a scream queen that can scare the soul, but guides all wandering souls back home. Give your mind, body, all the more to Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl. I said it's Riri, the ghosty girl.
Hi, ghosties. Oh, I need this. Hi, ghosties. How are you? Hello, everybody. Okay. Hello, Sally. Thanks for being the first soul. Hello, Saber. Hello, Icy. Hello, Ziggy. Hello, Eldius. Hello, Prince. And Latina. Hello, Luck. How's early squad? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. It feels so weird to be live on a Saturday night. I'm never live on a Saturday night. I had fun at a con. Glad you had fun. Meeting people is cool. I see. I hope you feel better. Get well soon. Hold on. I feel like I'm a little. I feel like I needed to reset the tracking. How do you imagine Riri's real voice? What do you mean? This is my real voice. What do you mean, how do you imagine my real voice? This is my real voice. What do you mean? I don't, like, put on a voice. I, like, have thought about it, but I can't. Like, I've always wished that I could have, like, be a bit more, like, mommy voice or something. Yeah, this is Riri's voice. This is my voice. Hi, Optic. Do you mean, like, my roommate's voice? In character? Bro, that's the thing. I know it's like, all VTubers are characters, but, like, I'm just me. I know you're messing with me. But I truly, like, I don't have the skill to act like a character or change my voice. Dude, if I could change my voice and, like, hold it and speak in it, I totally would. I would go full sexy mommy, but I can't. I think I've, like, managed to get a sentence or two out before. We've had a discussion like this. Like, it's been a while, but if anyone knows, like, Finana, like, she has an alter ego, Finance, and she has, like, the most beautiful way of speaking when she speaks like that. And I was like, damn, I wonder if I can do that. And I just, like, can't wrap my head around it. But I've tried. I think I've gotten, like, a sentence or two out before I, like, lose it. It's just, like, I can't visualize it. It's so hard. And in general, even if a streamer isn't putting on, like, a persona or a character, it's always gonna be more, it's just more of who I am, you know? But, I mean, you know, some people have met my roommate, and some people have seen my roommate from a very long time ago. And I think she would agree. She would have it for a good streak and then I drop it. Yeah, probably. How's everyone for Saturday? You're right, I have met Tina. Best day of my life. Best day of my life. It goes meeting Tina. Second best day, getting job. Third best day, graduating college. I don't know. This is your real voice. Is the shelf booty also real or in character too? Dude, that story. Do you think I could invent the word shelf booty? You think I could make up a story about that? Oh man. I mean, I'd never heard it either. I literally had to ask the girl I was with. I was like, what the fuck is a shelf booty? I've never heard this before in my life. And the girl, like, told me, like I didn't have a clue. I think we're just not the kind of, like, I think if you're coming into a VTuber's chat or hanging out on Twitch, you're probably not the kind of person to be in a room with people who use terms like shelf booty. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, it could be, it's a coincidence, but, but you know, that it's okay. It's okay. There's a reason we're all here. We're all gathered here today. We're all gathered here today to praise our big sister. Yes, praise me. Praise me today. Chris Sabat. I feel like I've heard that name, but I don't really like. I'm bad. I'm so bad with names. You waited 4 hours? Jesus. You went to the Urban Dictionary. At first you thought, oh, it's like flat because a shelf is square. No, it's when your booty makes a shelf with your lower back. You know? No clue how people get them. You just have a big ass, but a small, like, you have a back that curves. You know? That's just how you do it. I don't know. Genetics and have a fat ass. And if you try and working out in the gym isn't working for you, don't worry. Everyone who says that you can just do squats to get a fat ass is lying. You probably need a BBL, and that's fine. You can get one if you want. Just know that, like, everyone has had a BBL. Probably every content creator that you know has had a fucking BBL. And that's okay. I'm not shaming it. I'm just saying, don't think doing 500 squats a day is necessarily going to give you a fat ass. Aren't BBLs dangerous? I know that they're dangerous in the sense of, like, because they're a highly sought after surgery, you have to make sure and go to someone reputable, because there's a situation of people doing like underground BBLs and not using the correct like material, and then you have very bad things happen to your body when that happens. Like, there were people using cement and getting BBLs done for like $1,000. Hello Frank, welcome. Hello Wartrons. Vegeta. I see. Your ghostly parents had good genes? Maybe. I don't know. They had okay genes. I wish I had better teeth enamel. Hello, Fauna. A BBL is a Brazilian butt lift, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's genetics. It's your fitness. Like, for some people, working on your glute muscles will make them look really good. For everyone, they'll improve them. But like, to have like a perfect ass, it's genetics or a BBL. Like, that's what it comes down to, you know? Yes. Look, I've heard the same story. Yeah, so you need to be careful about where you go. But especially if you go somewhere where you can use like other fat in your body for the BBL, it's really good. Like, it's a lot better because it's already like part of your body, so your body is less likely to reject it. I don't know. I have a really good friend of mine who had a BBL. And she looks fantastic. But honestly, she looked fantastic before. But a lot of people who are bothered by hip dips, which is where like you have like a dip between like your thighs and like the side of your butt and your hips. Like, you can Google hip dips and you'll see photos. A lot of women especially are bothered by that. And so like a BBL is how you fix that, if that bothers you. Yeah. I'll have to like Ziggy, thanks. It's not like breast implants. The surgeon is an artist, or to look fucked up and out of place. I mean, that's why like you get what you pay for, right? Like, you want to go to somewhere that is reputable. So it's a lot. Like, it's not like Saks, like a breast implant. Like, they have Saks with like specific like milliliters of like fluid or silicone or whatever it is in there that like give you sizes. Like, it's definitely a lot more of a science. A BBL is like a lot more dependent on your body and like how big you want it to be and like what kind of shape and all of that. Like, it's less structured. Maybe I like the hip dip. I kind of like a hip dip too. Something about it's kind of sexy. I don't know why. How do we get here? I don't know, Optic. We just go with the flow around here. Frank, thank you so much for the tip. What the heck? Thank you. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate everything you guys do by being here. Frank, you always show up, and I appreciate that. Okay. So let me okay. The word shelf booty. It's fine. That's true. That is how we got there. Okay. So today, I know we're talking, we're chilling, you know, we're vibing, but we are going to do episode 2 of Virtual Big Sis Advice. I still haven't figured out a name I'm happy with, so we're sticking with this. If anyone has ideas, feel free to post them in Discord. But for anyone that hasn't been around or wasn't here for the first episode like a month or 2 ago, basically I have a Google sheet that's totally anonymous. I have it pinned, and you're allowed to give me any, you know, maybe you got a situation going on, maybe you have something coming up, maybe you're curious about my thoughts on something that you need advice on, and then me, as your virtual self-appointed big sister, is going to give you the kind of advice you need, you know? I'm not like a mom, like I'm not going to judge you, and I'm not like a friend who's just going to 100% support everything you do. I meet you somewhere in the middle and hopefully help you out. Ruby's perfect the way she is. I mean, I think perfection doesn't exist, and everyone can improve themselves in some way. However, it is good to accept our friends and the people we care about and support who they are. So thank you for that. Yeah, go see Intervention. I mean, it could be an intervention. Some of the situations today definitely are gonna feel a little like I'm gonna have a suggestion for a lot of them that will be the same, and that is therapy. But there are things you can do outside of therapy to help yourself and help your situation. So the ghost files, because of the Google Doc. Oh, really? Maybe. It's hard to think of something. Like, I wish we had a singular word for big sister in English, because big sister is so long and it's 2 words and it's just mid. But like in like Japanese and Korean and probably some other languages, there's like a specific word for big sister. So it's like, I don't know. There's just nothing sticking out to me, you know? Why not use One-san? We're all weebs here. Because I'm not Japanese. And even if I speak it, I try to like toe the line of I don't know, like overly Asian washing. You know, like I know a lot of YouTubers especially get flack for being like white and using like a Japanese inspired name and all of this stuff and like pretending to be Asian, and I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm doing that. Like, I'm always very honest. I am a white American. I just speak Japanese. Like, I've studied it and I lived there and worked there for a little bit. So it just has been a big part of my life, right? Yeah. Riri's a will of the whisper. No, I'm not Asian. I am white. That's why I made a ghost, because it matches my skin. I'm kidding. But anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about you guys. You thought I was Hispanic? That's so interesting. I've never heard that. I can't speak Spanish to save my life. Before we switch, so at my office, I go in twice a week now, right? And we have this lady who's super, super nice. Like, I always say hi to her and we'll like chat a little bit. But she is like the dedicated like office cleaner, and she's there every morning. And she like she cleans the bathroom, she cleans our kitchen, she restocks like all of this. And so anyway, she is Hispanic and speaks Spanish, and I know this because she has spoken. I've seen her speaking Spanish to other people, and so my friend that is like a little younger than me, but like is in the same role as me, like he'll tell her good morning in Spanish. Pardon me, something like buenos dias Diaz. I don't fucking know. I don't know any Spanish at all. Okay, I never fucking studied Spanish, but he tells her good morning and talks stuff in Spanish, and I always listen. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And then I'm like, oh, should I start telling her good morning in Spanish instead of in English? I'm always like, would that be nice? Would she like that? Or should I just keep speaking English? I'm like, I'll say buenos, dias, whatever, dias. I'll tell her fucking good morning in Spanish if like she would like that. But like, I don't know, you know? And then I'm like, I don't even fucking know how to say it. So I guess I'm just gonna keep telling her good morning like I do every other day. You're a Texan, that's why you assumed I was Hispanic? But like, Texas is so diverse, actually, especially in Houston where I am. So yeah, I can't roll my R's. And I've practiced though. I can a little bit. I can't like hold it though. It's so hard. Anyway, I'm mouth washing. No, I was rolling my tongue. Anyway, it did stick. I just haven't continued trying it. Okay. All right. Enough about me. Too much about me. We gotta talk about you guys. I want to talk about your problems and your situations and your questions and concerns and comments. There's been no complaints, but you know, maybe one day we'll have a complaint. I want to talk about you guys. Teaching the R rolling was a good okay. Hey. I'm still working on getting better, okay? I'll practice more. It seems like a good skill. Anyway, we have quite a few scenarios today that people have submitted. And I kind of want to go over them, and I feel like they're in a pretty good order too. Because I don't know, I feel like we end on one that is really deep. So I kind of like that. I mean, they're all like you guys have a lot of shit going on, okay? Are troll submissions okay? I mean, it depends. I had a troll submission that's still like at its core was something good to discuss. If it's like legitimately troll, then I just won't talk about it. You know, like if there's no value, then I'm not gonna. Like, I take time before this podcast. Like, I literally read through, made notes, like did research, like to talk about stuff. It's not like I want it to be funny and entertaining, but I also want it to be useful, right? Advice from oh my fucking god. Optic, that's genius. Holy shit. That's so fucking good. Actually. I'm changing the title right now. I'm obsessed with that. Okay. 10 out of 10. Optic, you're hired. You get full credit. Full credit. Okay. need to make this window. Oh, never mind. I don't need to make this window a little smaller. Okay. I know I'm so bad at thinking of names for my own shit. Okay. I'm so bad. I'm good at thinking of things for other people, but for myself, horrible. All right. So yeah, we have a good like 6 or 7 situations today. And anything else that gets submitted like today, we probably won't talk about until episode 3. So, you know, as we're going, like maybe things come up or whatever and you want to submit it, that's cool. I like to give some time in between episodes for, you know, people to make submissions. Yeah, this is where you can trauma dump, guys. This is where you can legally trauma dump to me. Is here, and it's totally anonymous. I don't know who's submitting it. Like, you don't have to provide any information. What about naming pets? Okay, I am pretty good at naming pets, I think. I will say Yuki is a 10 out of 10 name, and Naya was also a 10 out of 10 name. And hey, when I was 5 and I named my first cat Jewel, Princess Jewel, honestly, 10 out of 10 name. So yeah, you guys submit. Probably anything moving forward will be talked about next time. But yeah, if you want to legally trauma dump, there you go. So getting to the meat, getting to the juicy. Hi, Med. We'll talk about the first situation. I'm debating. You guys can let me know what you think later. Or like let me know your thoughts in Discord, but I didn't know if it'd be helpful to have like the text of the situation on the screen. But like I can't do that for them this time because a few of them have information that they don't want me to share with everybody. So if you think it'd be useful to have like the text on the screen of like the situation as we talk about it, you guys let me know in Discord, give me some feedback if you have any ideas. Please don't give me your social. No. I mean, I've had access to tons of social security numbers. I worked in healthcare before. So you can trust me with it. However, please don't. I will just delete it. I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want it. All right. So the first I'd rather have your credit card. Okay, the first situation. Tina, same brain cell, same fucking brain cell, Tina. All right, so the first situation. All right, we'll call this all new friends, okay. So, I have been making a lot of new friends at school lately, mostly just by coming out of my shell and actually interacting with those around me. The only issue is that I'm scared to hang out with them in some settings. I'm a high school student. I hope that means you're 18. And where I live, the legal age for drinking is 21. Most people my age where I'm from drink, which has been very concerning for me as someone who is, for medical reasons, unable to drink. Although I wouldn't want to even if I could. I pride myself as someone who's strong against peer pressure, and these friends don't seem like the type of people to push activities onto someone else, but I'm definitely concerned regardless. I was wondering what I should do in this kind of situation because I really want to keep the friends I've made and I'd love to hang out more, but this has been in the back of my mind. It's just... All right, so you guys get the situation, right? So someone's under 21. They've been making a lot of new friends lately. They really like them, but they're nervous to hang out in new situations for fear of peer pressure to drink alcohol. Fair. You know, I think that it's really good that you are considering, you know, potential dangers to your life or to your morals or whatever the case may be. They said they have medical reasons that don't let them drink. So, being aware that there might be situations where someone tries to make you drink or peer pressures you to drink, like, that shows a level of emotional maturity. So first of all, bravo for you for thinking about it. But to be honest, if they're your friends, if they're good people and you're comfy enough to tell them that, hey guys, like I have a medical condition and I can't drink alcohol, but like it won't bother me if you're drinking, like we can hang out. I just can't. Like if they're good people, they'll respect that. Period. I don't care how old or young you are. If your friend, new or old, doesn't matter, tells you, hey, I have this like medical condition, so I can't drink alcohol, or I can't drink soda, or I can't eat beef. Like if they're a good person, then they'll be like, okay, they'll respect that, right? Because they don't want you to potentially do something that harms your life. It doesn't matter if they're your friend or not. Like anyone should feel that way, right? Like that's period. Like if you're comfy to tell them that, then I think you should. And if they don't respect that, then you need to drop them and find new friends, right? But if you're not comfy to tell them that, hey, I have this medical condition and I can't drink, or even like, hey, I don't really want to drink. It's not for me. Like I want to wait until I'm legal, maybe. You can tell them that, and if they don't respect it, same thing. But if you're not comfortable in telling them that or kind of confronting them head on in that way, there are definitely other options to kind of skirt around the problem, test the waters a little bit. So one thing you can do is hang out with them in places where they won't serve alcohol to minors, like restaurants, coffee shops, like even a club. They shouldn't. I know a lot of clubs are where people will underage drink, but it's really easy for you to go up to a bartender alone or something and say, I just want a Coke or a Sprite, or I don't have a fake ID, so I can't get alcohol. Sorry. And I don't want to share drinks because I get sick really easily. Like, things like that. Hang out with them in situations where they won't be drinking or where it's really difficult to get alcohol when you're underage. That's like an easy one, right? You can also, in a more complicated way, have an out, right? So I just want a Coke. Restaurant brings cocaine. Wrong Coke. Okay. I said Sprite. Sprite's an option. That wouldn't get confusing. But another option would be to have an out. So say they invite you to a party or like a hangout or a situation where drinking will happen. Plan it out. So say, oh yeah, I'm not really into drinking, but I'll go, right? And then tell a different friend or parent or sibling or anyone, let them know the situation and say, hey, can you be watching your phone like at this time? Like, are you free that night? That way, if there's something wrong, I can text you, right? So basically, here's how it'll go, right? So say you're at this party and you feel pressured to drink, or they're not listening to you, or you're concerned. You can text this friend, this other person, your parent, whoever. Text them, whatever your code is, your secret code, like, hey, call, like whatever. They'll call you and you just need to pretend to have a conversation, right, with them. And then you can go back to the people that are peer pressuring you and say, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, my mom needs help. Like, she needs me to come home, so she's coming to pick me up. Or, oh yeah, my friend's dog, she has to take her dog to the to the vet, and she's freaking out about it, and I want to support her, so I'm gonna go with her, right? Like, it can be anything, right? Just have some kind of out. That way someone can come pick you up. You can Uber somewhere. Hell, you can just walk out. If you're concerned but you want to test the waters and make sure that they're good people and they're not going to peer pressure you, like, just let someone else in on the situation, right? so that you have an out and you have someone to back you up in case you feel in trouble. I don't think really that you should ever put yourself in that position of uncertainty. You should have a conversation with these people. Like I said, that honestly, the easiest thing is just to tell them, hey, I don't want to drink. I have a medical condition. I can't drink. Like, I just want to make sure that's okay with you. It won't bother me if I'm with you and you're drinking, but like, please don't ask me to drink because I can't. And it just makes me feel bad. Right? Like, to me, that's the easiest route. But if you aren't so good at being confrontational, then, you know, these are some ways around it, right? Or a DD. I think someone mentioned DD. Yeah, saying, hey, I'm happy to be a DD anytime. Like, that's, people love having a DD. So, you know, like, just pay for my Cokes all night. Okay. Pay for my Dr. Peppers. Pay for my DPs all night. And I'll drive you home. Easy peasy. Buy me a snack. Late night Whataburger run. And I'm good. You know, like, people are easily won over when you're willing to do favors for them, right? You don't enjoy drinking. Being the DD makes you feel good. You can always be there. Exactly. Like, it is a huge relief when you're like, oh, I don't have to pay for an Uber. Like, I have a friend who will drive me and doesn't mind if I'm drinking, but still wants to come hang out. Like, that's great. Yeah. At restaurants, I feel waiters think I'm being cheap when I get water, but like, other drinks are overpriced and not good for you, and water's important. I never feel like waiters think I'm being cheap. And I also don't care if they think I'm being cheap. I like water, and I'm not going to pay $4 for a fucking can of Dr. Pepper. Compulsory evacuation device. Exactly. Yeah, a soda always looks like a mixed drink too. You can even ask them to put a lime in it if you're trying to fool people. But again, I don't think that's like sustainable in the long run, right? Like, your friends should be people you trust, and they should be good people. So if you're not in a position to make new friends, or you think, oh, I just need to like kind of hang out with them until like I go somewhere else, then like, you know, you can do these things to kind of skirt around the issue, right? DP, don't pay for that. But I love Dr. Pepper. I literally almost left the house today just to go get a Coke Zero because I really wanted a soda. I wanted a soda so bad, but the thought of having to put on a bra and drive out of my garage, like down all those floors, and then walk into a store to get a soda deterred me. But like, even now, I'm craving one. So I'm with you, Tina. Hi, Pacey. It's good to see you. We're doing my podcast. It's not a podcast where I give advice. So, yeah. Drinking while going out is super expensive. Anyway, to the individual that submitted this, I hope the advice helps. I hope that gives you some clarity on the situation. Never be afraid to, like, you know, ditch friends if they don't serve you, if they don't make you happy, or if you guys don't align on things. That's okay, right? But also, if they're new friends and you don't really know how they'll react, then I think it's worth exploring, right? So, yeah. But yeah, you can be here. We still read chat. We still interact. Like, I like to see what you guys think too. So you can always make new friends. Yep. I know the world seems really small, especially when you're in high school and even a little bit in college. The world seems small and it seems like you're stuck in a bubble and that's it. But this comes up later. There are so many people in the United States, in Europe, in whatever country you live in. Like, in this world, there are so many people, and you can always change where you're at. You can always find new friends and meet new people. Like, always. We're so connected. This world has become so small. So, hey, they could be an 18-year-old in high school. I was assuming they're probably 18 because I do have a 18 plus rule. So, Hey, Victor. Alpha Victor. Thank you, thank you. Have a good lurk. Have a good sleep. Yeah, I was assuming if they're admitting that they're in high school, they're probably 18 and they're a senior. It's spring, so. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do delivery right now, Frank, because then they'll probably call my phone and I'll have to leave and go get it, and I don't want to do that. But I can get one tomorrow. I'm gonna go visit my friend at her new house. Imagine owning a house. Couldn't be me. Maybe one day. And I'll get myself a soda on the way home. Alrighty. All you house owners. That's what I mean by a house, though. Anything. Okay. Well, thank you for submitting. I will move on to the next one. Hopefully one day we can all acquire a house. I agree. This next one made me laugh because I found it very funny that they were asking me advice on this, because also me. So the next question, the next situation. Hey, big sis, how do I become a better texter? I'm terrible at both replying quickly and building a good texting rapport. And I was laughing because I'm a horrible fucking texter. So it made me laugh. It made me laugh that someone asked me. But I do have good advice for it. Just because I'm bad at something doesn't mean that I don't know the solution. It just means that I don't listen to my own advice. Classic move. So, oh no. So I'm aware that I'm being hypocritical in giving this advice because I'm also horrible at texting. I literally have 7 text messages from a friend from over 24 hours ago sitting unread on my phone right now, because I know as soon as I read it, if I don't answer her, I'm going to forget, and then it's going to be 2 weeks, and I'm going to be, fuck, I didn't answer my friend. To be honest, she does the same thing to me, so it's just, we have that rapport, and it's okay, but, like, I feel bad. So instead, I just sit there with the 7 red bubble notification, and until it makes me upset enough, and I have time to answer someone. So for me, I know everyone has their own reason. Like, if you're a bad texter or a bad DMer, I know everyone has their own reason for it. Some people have ADHD. Some people are just lazy. Some people are forgetful. Me, I feel like it takes too long. I'm with you, Tina. It takes too long sometimes. Like, I don't have the time in that moment to give to a message that requires, like depending on the DM, it'll require more time than I have in that moment to give it, right? So instead of answering you, I'm like, okay, I have to wait until I have time to answer them, because I can't like answer them half-assed, right? And then I forget that I got the message. But here are some ways that you could help yourself be a better DMer or a better texter that I should implement myself. So, one option is to set an alarm or like a calendar notification or something every day or every other day, you know, whatever you want to ramp up to, but set yourself an alarm. Like, if you know, I tend to typically be free like around dinner time at 6 p.m. or I'm usually free at like 10 a.m. like work slows down or whatever. Like, set yourself an alarm for whatever time that would be. And when that alarm goes off, like, you check your texts and you check your DMs and you answer them. You know, you give yourself the 5-10 minutes and answer your messages. Check, like, go through your messages, make sure, you know, you didn't miss one that you read and you didn't answer yet, right? Or like set up a block of time on your calendar and be like, oh, okay, I get out of class at 10 and then my next one starts at 10:30. I'm gonna walk to class and then I'm gonna sit outside of class and I'm gonna answer my text. I'm gonna answer my DMs. Like, find time spare time where you can dedicate that, right? You can also like do something where you check every night before you go to bed, or every morning when you're getting up, like before you get out of bed. You can be like, this is, instead of my mindless TikTok scrolling, this time is now for me to answer my DMs or answer my texts, right? Yeah, I mean, if something's important, I think in general, people, if it's important, people will answer. But if it's like just shooting the shit or casual conversation, it's like some of us don't always have time every day, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me too, Frank. It's like I always in the morning check in on my Discord, answer any messages I missed. Like that's kind of like part of my morning routine. Some days are better than others, but you know, that's part of it, right? And on the flip side, if you're someone that's really good at texting, if you're someone that's really good at answering DMs, and you have friends or acquaintances that aren't, show them some grace. If it's been a few days, like just ping them and say, hey, just reminding you about this. Like, because, you know, life is crazy. We have so much information at our fingertips, and it's very easy to get lost, right? But it's hard. I think ultimately you just have to like care enough about that. And blocking out time every day or every other day is like my best recommendation. I don't know if anyone else has any better ideas, but that's what I would do. Sent me a message a year ago? What the heck? Oh, I was like, what? And if it's like, if it's so bad that you're not even answering the important texts, then at that point it's like just a mindset, right? Like you need to answer important time sensitive messages. If you don't do that, like then you're just an irresponsible person, and you have to adjust how you act, really, right? Changing behaviors is difficult, but it's okay. It takes time. That's all right. If you're working on it, then you're working on it. I think that's all there is to really say about that, to be honest. All right. Next question. I feel like I need to like name all of these people. I feel like we need to name them so they know, so we can refer to like, we can refer to everybody, you know? It's hard. I need to think. The next trauma dump. This one's more of a trauma dump. Hey, Divi, how are you? Hey, Craggy, how are you? Yeah, that's smart to have different vibrations. That's good too. All right. Big sis Riri. How do I feel like I'm not a bother to my friends or family? Such a loaded question. I want to be more involved with my friends and their activities, but recently I've not been feeling 100%. I feel left out when it comes to activities with friends. I feel like a bother and don't want to interrupt what they have going on. I'm taking therapy to work on this, but it still feels like I do not belong when I'm with them. I feel they've grown super close with each other and I'm being left behind. What can I do? This is a complicated question. And before I give any thoughts, I really want to applaud this person for being in therapy, knowing that it's a problem that they probably need to work on as well. It's a great step. I'm super proud of you. Like, that's a great job that you're already in therapy and working on yourself. So first and foremost, you're already taking the steps to improve your mindset, and you deserve huge kudos for that. But there's a few reasons you could be feeling this way, right? So it's a little bit of a convoluted situation. So ultimately, it comes down to a mindset change. Sounds like high school. I mean, I have felt this way before. Like, I can recognize that feeling of just not fully feeling like you belong, feeling like you get left behind. I mean, if I really think about it, almost all of my IRL friends are married, in a relationship, or have kids. So, and then here I am, like, single, streaming on the internet, like, and I didn't have a job for a majority of last year. So, like, sometimes, you know, when you're not in a good place, or maybe you're having a bad day, if you're in a room full of those people and you look around and you feel like, wow, I'm being left behind. Like, I'm so different. Like, I'm not in the same place as all of these other people. Like, I don't belong here. Like, it's really easy to spiral into thoughts like that. So I can understand how they think this way. And it does. Oh, gotta plug in the phone. It does come down to a mindset change, but it could be a friendship issue too. So I do want to touch on that. So you should never feel like a bother to your family. Like, your family. What was that? What was what? It could be a friendship issue. So, like, we're gonna disregard family for this, because in my opinion, family. I froze, but my mic should have been fine. I just had to plug in my phone. Like, family should be the people that you always go to. Like, I know not everyone. Huh? What do you mean, I guess not? Can you guys not hear me? Hello? Oh. Okay. I'm just making sure. Hi, Jim. Okay. So, anyway, so we're going to disregard family for this, because in my opinion, your family should be the people that you can bother and, like, not really have to be considerate of. But I know not everyone has that relationship, and unfortunately, like, fixing your family relationship is kind of a different issue than fixing a friend relationship. This question talks more about friends than family, so I think that's the focus. Fixing relationship with family is a much more complicated topic, so that's, like, advice that we could go over when someone asks about it. So we're kind of disregarding family for this, specifically friends, and family can be found family. You can find family. Blood does not mean family. Blood does not have to be your only family, okay? I firmly believe that. I know a lot of cultures have a lot of emphasis on family, and people feel like they need to take care of their parents and make their parents proud and all of that, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, if they're not being good parents to you, then you have no obligation to talk to them ever again or be close with them until they're willing to meet you in the middle. I digress. When it comes to this situation about wanting to be more involved, but feeling left out, feeling like a bother, not wanting to interrupt what they have going on, like feeling like you don't belong, it's a mindset change. However, there is a caveat that it could be a friend issue. Like, there's always potential that these friends are toxic and are doing things to make you feel that way. So it is important to try and look at these people from a neutral perspective of someone that doesn't know you or them, and say, would someone else think that the way they're treating me is okay? Is it okay? Is this a me problem, or is this a them problem? And it could be that they're not toxic and they're just like not being considerate of you. Like, there is that. But it is worth noting that it could be their part of their problem. Some people will keep others around just to make themselves feel better. And it's worth thinking about it and just ensuring that they are good people, they are good friends, they're not intentionally doing something to mistreat you or leave you out. Okay. If it's not them, if they're not being toxic, if they're not the problem and it is your mindset, there's a few ways to go about that. Being in therapy, the best way. You'll get better as you continue to work on yourself. But you can try a few other things. Honestly, if they're your friends, again, you should just be able to tell them that you're feeling a little left out or a little off, or, you know, however you want to explain it. If they're your friends and they're good people and they care about you, I reference back to them not being toxic and it not being their fault. You should be able to just tell them, hey, like, I've been feeling a little left out lately. I know it's on me. It's not on you guys, but I just wanted to let you know how I'm feeling. So if I'm a little down, I'm sorry. Like, please still invite me to stuff. Like, you're my friends and I want to hang out with you. I've just been feeling a little blue. I've been feeling a little off. I'm having a bad month. Like, whatever it is, right? They should respect that. If you don't really feel like that's a good route to go, or you're bad at confrontation, or you don't want to have that kind of conversation, you can try to put yourself in their shoes. These events that you're feeling left out of, or like you don't feel like you belong or whatever, are these like open invitations where anyone can join? Like, is it just a Discord group where someone's like, hey, does anyone want to play this game? And a bunch of people hop in and play the game. Like, no one's being invited. It's just an open invitation, right? Or maybe it's like, oh, I know a bunch of people like this, but I know this one particular person has been wanting to try it or wanting to play it. Hey, do you want to come do this with me? Like, person X. Anyone else is welcome, but I'm specifically asking person X because I have knowledge that they wanted to try this or do this, right? There can be a lot of reasons why people don't just like explicitly invite you. If you're friends, like, you should feel comfortable just hopping into a Discord call that they're in and being like, hey, what's going on? Like, I wanted to hang out. What are you doing? Oh, is there room for me to play with you or whatever? I think going over to someone's house is a little different. But if it's posted publicly somewhere or a group chat or whatever, like, oh, we're getting together, just say, oh, that sounds like fun. Like, I'll head over too if that's cool, you know? There's also a situation where, like, when you're the kind of person that declines a lot, like, if you used to get invited, but now you had to say no a lot, they might stop inviting you because it's like, oh, they're just going to say no anyway, so I won't go through the effort, or I don't want to make them feel bad because they can't go, or, oh, they don't like this because they never used to go. Like, things like that happen. So if you declined a lot before, that could be part of the problem. Yeah, they'll think it's a bother for you. So there's a lot of reasons why they could be like not inviting you. So you can talk to them, you can kind of analyze, and honestly make your own events to invite them to. Like, if you're feeling left out or left behind, or like you're not getting enough time with these people, make your own events. Like, make your own thing. Be like, hey guys, I want to play this game. Like, is anyone available like this time to play? Or, hey guys, I want to play some board games. Like, come over to my house anytime after X time, whatever. Like, that's honestly the best way, because if you start making the effort to hang out with these people, it's going to increase your bond with them. And if you make the effort to host the events, like, you're going to see who shows up and who doesn't and what people like to do. And you kind of take control over the situation. You're taking the power back into your own hands instead of leaving the power of your self-worth in your friends' hands. You're taking that power back and it's in your hands, right? Ultimately, you know, at the end of the day, you have to know your worth. You have to know your value. And you have to know what you deserve. Like, you have to believe in that. We all are worthy of love and friendship. We all have value in being someone's friend, and being someone that is cared about and cares for people. We're all worthy of that. And you have to know that you're worthy of that, like, at the end of the day. Yeah, Tina, same thing, right? Organizing. Like, that's honestly, I think, the best way out of this situation, is because if you start organizing events and these friends are coming to these events, or, you know, game nights or whatever it is, then you're not going to be feeling left out anymore. It really, it's like a power move. Like, you're taking the power back away from, like, back to where it should be. Like, you should feel powerful over your own self-worth. Inviting people is the best solution. I 100% agree. Work on being more independent. Sometimes it boosts confidence. True. Yeah. I think we're social creatures, so it's important to have a good support system and a good friend group. And it's important to, like, make sure that they are being a good support group and a good friend group. And if they are, yeah, just invite them. Like, people we get so caught up in our own lives. They might not be doing anything without you. You just think they are. So invite them. If you want to hang out more or do something, you plan the events. You ask for people to play the game. You ask for people to watch the anime. Like, you do that. Make yourself available, and invite people. And it'll work out. And things will get better because you're in therapy, which is just 10 out of 10. All right. The next, man, I really feel like I'm talking a lot today. I should have made tea. Okay. The next, what did Optic call them? Optic called them something, and I was like, that's really clever. Oh, hydrate regime? Did I miss one? I'll take the sip. Seance. Yeah. The next seance. Okay. So this is the situation. They said, my sister, this one was interesting. All right. My sister invites her boyfriend over every Friday and Saturday. About every Friday or Saturday. And when he comes over, they do the stuff. We share the same room, so, like, I just don't want to leave, but they do it anyways while I'm in the room. I'll admit it's kind of weird for me to stay in the room, but I simply don't want to leave my room. I also think it's pretty weird to do it while I'm in the room, but they seem fine with it. To be clear, I'm not, like, watching them. We have a divider or whatnot, so I can't see the action. Not that I want to anyways. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I read this one and I was like, is this troll? But I could see it. Okay, because hear me out, it's probably a girl. Right? It's probably a girl in college who shares a room with her sister. And this is how it is. And I will say, I definitely am very thankful. Yeah, freshman year of college bunk beds, like, that's what it feels like. So I was like, honestly, this could be very real if it's sisters. I think it is a little weirder if it's a brother and a sister, because I also feel like that's just such an awkward situation to share a room when you're at this age with like a brother. I mean, it's still uncomfortable with a sister, but at least like you guys are going through the same things, right? You have the same body parts and you're dealing with the same shit. But it feels like it would be weirder if it was a brother and a sister. So I'm going off thinking that this is two girls, right? I don't think a brother would fist bump the boyfriend. I thought brothers were supposed to be like protective. Like, how dare you fuck my sister, bro? Anyway, so here are my thoughts about it. I was like, okay, this is a little weird. This is a little weird. However, also horny youngins. So I'm unsurprised, and I could believe it. I could believe it. Okay. So there's a few routes we could go here. Okay. One, I'm curious if this is going on. There's not a lot of protection. Hopefully they're using condoms. Please and thank you, guys. There's more reasons other than just not having a baby to use a condom. Use a condom. If they care about you, they'll use a fucking condom. If you don't want to use a condom because you can fuck yourself in the ass. Use a goddamn condom, okay? Anyway. So, I would say, have you had a conversation with your sister about how you don't want to leave your room? Like, you're like, this is my room, this is my space. I don't want to have to leave. Like, do you have any other option to go, like, do the stuff elsewhere? Like, do you have a car? Do you have, does he have somewhere else? Like, whatever. I'm assuming there's no other options, which is why they're doing the stuff in the shared room. But it's worth asking and also telling her, like, hey, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to leave my room. Like, why do you keep doing this when I'm here? Dude, no one, okay. You can't, okay. Most places in America don't just let you go to a hotel for a few hours. And also, hotels are, like, kind of expensive. And most youngins in college and below that are doing the deed don't have the money to just go to a hotel twice a week to have sex. Like, they're definitely young. It's cheap, but not for a young person. Like, it's someone who's sharing a room with her sister. Like, they don't live on their own. This is not, it's not the same thing, right? So, I would say, in general, it would be better for you to leave the room. Honestly, like, you should leave the room. Because it's like a respect thing. It's a, like, let's not get a sister complex thing. It's like, let's not desensitize ourselves to the fact that, like, that's our sister on the other side of this divider. There's a lot of reasons I think a therapist would say you should definitely leave the room. But if you can't leave the room, like, if that's not an option, say you have a bad relationship with your family, so, like, hanging out in the living room isn't something you can do. Like, say you guys are in a dorm or something and you don't have another space. I think that you should establish some ground rules with the sister about how she has to tell you, like, you need a code word or something so that you're prepared beforehand before they start. And then when they're done, she needs to, like, alert you that, like, it's fine and whatever, and you can, like, wear soundproof earbuds or, like, a headset or something and, like, watch something or go to sleep or I don't know, listen to a podcast, like, something. Yeah, maybe go take a shower or a bath, like, isn't a bad idea. Like, go for a walk, go to the gym, like, literally do anything else. But I think it is important that you tell her it makes you uncomfortable, like you find it a little weird. Because she should like give you warning, like, hey, it's a code. It's fuck time, so I'm just warning you. Like, she should have something to tell you so that you're not just like caught off guard, right? Yeah, because I think probably mentally it's like not the healthiest thing to be in that situation. But I could understand. I could see some situations where you don't have a choice, right? No, you're not joining your sister. We don't approve of that. If they don't have their own place, then they're not ready for the consequences of doing the deed. I disagree with that statement. I graduated college and had worked and was working a full-time job and was living with my parents. Does that mean that I am not ready for the consequences of doing the deed? Like, I disagree with that. Like, people can be ready for consequences. You can protect yourself. You can know what's the right thing to do. Ultimately, like, we're human beings, and doing the deed, you can have your own views on it. There are a lot of perspectives, but in my opinion, it's something that is a display of intimacy, and it's a display of hormones, and it's something that makes people feel good, and it's something that most humans just generally want to do by the time they're like 16. So it's kind of unrealistic to just say don't do it if you're not ready for consequences. It's better to like give people information and try to help them protect themselves. So yeah, I think most people use a card. Like, they're not gonna get a hotel room, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I think leaving the room is the best, but like, I do know people who have really bad relationships with their family that they're forced to still live with. And so leaving the room maybe just isn't an option, right? Like, there's all sorts of situations out there, and we don't want to judge. We don't want to judge this person for like not leaving the room. Nah, Frank, it's not. They're young. It won't take too long. It's true. I mean, if the sister is as a horny youngin, it doesn't surprise me that she doesn't care if her sibling is in the room. Like, it honestly doesn't surprise me. You could get a partner and do the same to your sister. Also true. OP could go sit in a car. Also true. OP being stubborn. I mean, I understand that though. You're like, I don't want to leave my room. Like, this is my space, and I don't want to be forced out of my own space. Like, I can understand that perspective. I mean, it's the same. Like, it's the same if you were like in a dorm room. You're like, this is my dorm room. I don't want to fucking go sit in the lobby at 2 a.m. because you have a partner and you want to do it. You can figure that out yourself. I want to be in my room. Like, fuck you. Like, I understand that. But it's just when it's your sibling, when it's your family member, it just feels a little weirder, right? So, yeah. Yeah, if my sister was pulling this, I probably would be a dirty little tattletailer, to be honest. Well, maybe not. Not now, but if I was in like college and I came back home and my sister was in high school and this was happening and I tried to talk to her and she was like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. I for sure would have been like, Mom, my little sister is having sex in the room and it's annoying me. Can you please tell her to stop? That would have been my approach. Yeah. But hopefully that situation gets better, or we've given OP the push to leave the room for the betterment of their own health. And if it was a troll, oh well, it was an interesting situation that honestly could exist. So pull the divider away? Oh my god, no. No. I absolutely not. I don't want to see any of my family members do. I don't even want to see them like kiss barely. Okay. I don't. It'd be more awkward for me. No, thank you. Anyway, thank you for the submission, OP. Please.
Oh my God.
Don't please.
I'm down for it.
Stop your horny sister. Thank you. Scoop. Riri super cool and stuff. Scoop, you're super cool and stuff. Thank you so much for the raid, Scoop. Your college bestie have stories? I'd love to hear them, Tina. I was not a wild person at all. So I love to hear my salute friend stories, my wild friend stories. Hi, Miss Scoop. Thanks so much for the raid. How was Yu-Gi-Oh today? What were you doing? I know, I'm an early streamer. I'm the one who gets to raid everybody else. Riri will say so. That's what I always tell you guys. Okay, my heart is say so. It's just that my mind is a dirty little sloot. But my heart still say so. Pog, you were watching chat's replays and being cringe. You're not cringe. It's okay. If you're cringe, you've retaken cringe to actually mean cool. Catholic school girls with the first ounce of freedom. Oh my god, that's so true. Anyway, thank you so much for the raid, Scoop. Welcome in, guys. If you do not know me, I'm Udadity. You can call me Riri. I'm a variety screamer. We play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I love Valorant. And right now, we're actually doing episode 2 of my big sister advice. I don't know, podcast, stream. I don't fucking know what this is, but we've decided to call it Advice from the Beyond the Grave. And you can submit a dilemma, a problem, a situation, whatever it is. It's totally anonymous, and I look into it and I give you the big sister advice that you need. So you've come in at kind of a fun, very talkative stream time. But I appreciate your raid, and I appreciate you guys supporting Scoop because they're super pog and I adore them. But also, Scoop, if you need like a break to go get dinner or whatever, please take a break. Yeah, we've been having a good time. Thank you, Scoop. All right, we just finished up a situation with someone who shares a room with their sister and doesn't leave when the sister has the sex with her boyfriend. So you know, I think we've finished off that one, and we can move on to the next post. But I know every time I say it, I'm like, this can't be real, right? This is surely it's not real. The stuff, the sex. They called it the stuff. The stuff. They do the stuff. Oh my god. She does stuff. Anyway, don't do stuff, guys. I hope it's a troll. Yeah, me too. Yeah, the coitus. They do the coitus. They do the naked tango. Anyway. All right. Next situation. So, a friend and I run a decently sized Twitter roleplay writing group, but there's a character who I write for that I don't really want to anymore. I've mentioned this to said friend before, but she said she won't ever let anyone else write for that character because I do such a good job at writing them. I understand that she and everyone else in the group likes how I write the character, but there are other characters I'd prefer writing, especially when writing is meant to be my hobby in my very busy schedule. How do I put my foot down and tell her that I do not ever want to write for that character again without damaging our friendship? So this is kind of interesting. I think there's one. It's a Twitter roleplay writing group. So I've seen these before, but basically people will make Twitter accounts as characters. So I've seen people do this for like anime, where they get a group of people together and they all have a Twitter that's like based off of a character, and you basically role play as that character, right? And it's like you're tweeting the other characters, and it's like a role play in that way. And it could be like, it doesn't have to be like a fan fiction type of role play. It could be like, you know, OCs and stuff. Your Live 2D mama does this. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it's like decently common. I've seen it before. So that's probably what they're doing, something like that. And they were writing for a character for a while, and now they want to try writing a different character. They're tired of this character, but the other friend that runs it with her, I shouldn't say her, the other friend that runs it with them, said that she doesn't want anyone else to write for that character because the OP writes it the best. I think the easiest, like, basically, if you're actually friends, it shouldn't damage your friendship, period. End of discussion. Like, if you are actually friends, it shouldn't damage your friendship. Point blank. That's it. But that's kind of a boring answer. And there's a lot more that, you know, you could think about here. So friends, to kind of go further into that perspective, a friend should want you to be happy. They should want you to enjoy your hobbies. And if you're not doing that anymore, or you want to change it up, like, they should support you and be like, okay, got it. Because it's not just about them, it's about you and the well-being of their friend that they should care about. So if you're worried about approaching it and standing your ground and getting the solution that you want while still, like, having people be happy, there's a few different ways that I think that you could approach it. So I would probably explain to my friend, I'm just going to call her friend, like that's her name. But if I was OP, I would tell a friend, hey, this is my hobby. I have limited spare time, but this is something I love to do in it. And I want to explore other characters, right? Like, I'm tired of writing for this one character, and I think writing for others will really help me grow my skills and help me be a better writer. Like, you know, and it's important to explain what I think is very, very helpful in confrontation, because this is confrontation. It doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be negative to be confrontation. So this is a form of confrontation. And if you tell someone that you understand their perspective, it makes it a lot easier to swallow. So I would tell them, I understand that, you know, you and everyone else loves how I write this character, but I'm just not enjoying myself anymore doing that. And I know, like, my motivation, my skill, like my time and all of that is going to start to suffer because I'm not happy doing this anymore. Like, I want to be happier, and I really want to try writing for this character or that character instead. If they're an actual friend, they will hear that and be like, okay, you understand why I didn't want this to happen, but I understand that you're not happy. So let's do something else. Like, you still want to be a part of it. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. It shouldn't be that deep. You can also offer solutions for the character. They say they don't want anyone else to write for the character. Then don't have anyone else write for the character. The character could die, which I think someone else mentioned in the comments. Like, the character could die. The character could go on a long trip or a vacation. They could have, like, a falling out in the actual RP, like with the friend group, like write something super dramatic and they have a falling out and they're taking a break or whatever. They're traveling because, like, you guys aren't friends anymore. That way no one else is going to write for this character, but it also gives, like, a story element and, like, gives a space for them to, like, come back, right? Yeah, killing the character would show them for sure. You basically, you want to leave room in the discussion for other people to speak their mind, but not to object from what you want, right? And at some point, you just have to do what you want. If it's a shared like between OP and friend, they share, they run this together. Like, you have the power to just do what you want, right? Like, you're respecting your friendship and the other party by saying, hey, this is what I want. They should respect you by saying, okay, it's not what I want. Like, let's work on a solution, not just no, you know? They're not giving anything back to you here. You're the one giving 100%. They're giving none. So sometimes writers doing a story for so long have to write off a character. Exactly. Like, it would make sense that if you've spent a lot of time writing this character, you want to write something new. You want to write for someone new. And there are so many ways you can do it that doesn't just force someone else to write for that character. If it's like an integral part of the story, an integral character that you guys don't want to leave, then you just, you got to work around that. Or maybe you take on 2 characters and you say, okay, I'll continue doing this character at a minimal level for a little bit while I take on this other character, and just do the bare minimum until eventually you can kind of like fade it out, right? It's like killing a D&D character. You make a new one. Exactly. Yeah. But if they're your friend, they should listen to you. They should understand that, like, if they don't help you, you're not going to be creative with it anymore. Like, creativity is so fluid. And if you're forced to do this, you're going to lose your love for it. And you're going to lose your creativity for it. So put your foot down and say sorry, not sorry, It's interesting though, right? Like, everyone has it's not drama, but you always need to confront your friends, right? Like, any healthy friendship is going to have occasional confrontation. Anytime you have a disagreement or a differing opinion, especially if you work together on something, like, you need to be able to have a healthy conversation and a healthy confrontation. And a good person and a good friendship is going to just come out stronger on the other side of that. But there's never a friendship, a relationship, a work partnership, anything that is never going to have a conversation that is confrontation. Like, you're gonna have that everywhere. So you gotta start doing it, guys, and you gotta buckle up, Buttercup, because if you don't have confrontations, you are going to damage friendships and relationships and lose them. Anyone who has a different opinion can kick rocks. Yeah. I usually say you can fuck yourself or suck my dick, but kicking rocks is probably a nicer way to say that. All right. I think we have a few more. We do have a few more, actually. We have quite a few more. Okay, this next one is really interesting to me. It's I wouldn't say it's a unique situation, but I think it will apply to more people than they realize. So I'll share additional context. They asked me to generalize the details, so I'm not going to give you guys super specifics. Not that I have super specifics either, but basically this person is a early 20s male. They have a full-time job as a software engineer. They've not been working for like a super long time, right? They're early 20s, and they have like a decent wage, a great job, not very many hobbies. They're kind of experimenting with that right now. They live by themselves. They handle all of the cooking, cleaning, bills, medical, all of that. They're generally introverted. They don't use social media. They don't have too many close friends. All of them are like long distance, right? They're far away. So OP says, as someone who falls closer to both asexual and aromantic, I haven't decided if I want a partner, female or not. but I'd like to make the effort and at least try, and then maybe find out if I'm demisexual or full asexual or aromantic. I think it would be nice to have someone to offer mutual commitment, support, and attention to. One of the challenges, I think, would be finding someone who fits my expectations. My expectations are that I'm looking for someone with a similar income so we can split responsibility 50-50, financial, chores, planning, etc. I want someone that has demonstrated that they are responsible enough to take care of themselves. Sex is not an important part of the relationship to me, and I'd be willing to put off the decision on having kids for 10 plus years if needed. I think these are somewhat tough qualities to find out and ask about in a potential partner, so I'm not sure what the best strategy would be here to pursue someone while at the same time also wanting to be fair to the other person. So that's OP's situation. And I think it is quite an interesting one. And I think one that a lot of people can relate to in certain aspects. So I will first, for everyone's benefit, so we're all on the same page, I'm going to define 3 terms that they used in their scenario. One is ace or asexual, asexuality, often shortened as ace. Asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction to others or low or absent interest in or desire for sexual activity. Pretty straightforward, but I still wanted to clarify that. Aromantic or aro is a lack of romantic attraction to others or low or absent desire for romantic activity. So essentially like asexual, but aromantic. I feel like that one's a little bit less obvious, but it's almost like the lovey-dovey feelings. That's kind of how I describe it. And then demisexual is a sexual orientation. You essentially only feel sexual attraction to someone after they formed a strong emotional bond with you. So someone that is demisexual basically doesn't feel sexual attraction to someone unless they have a strong emotional bond with them. And it falls under the asexual spectrum. It's kind of under that flag, if you will. So those are 3 terms I think was important to define first, in case anyone was unsure about what they meant: ace, aro, and demi. But I also think that it's a struggle that I think a lot of people can relate to. I know that myself, like, I thought I was asexual, or maybe I was asexual growing up. I had no interest in that for a very, very, very long time. I think sexuality and how that plays into finding a partner is kind of complicated. And I think it changes as we age, as we meet different people, as we evolve as people. So it can kind of be a complicated situation and an ever-changing answer. But I do think that OP has a decently healthy outlook and like a good outlook on life and partnership. Like they said, they want to split responsibility with someone, 50-50. They want to share bills. They want to share chores. They want to share planning, all of that stuff, right? So they're not looking for someone to rely on. They're looking for an actual partnership. At least that's what they say, right? We'll hope that they follow through. But they seem to at least have a healthy idea about it, right? In my opinion. And I also think that it's really great that they're not feeling like a rush to have kids. I've known plenty of young men who really want to be dads and really want to have kids. And it's great when you know what you want like that. But I think especially given OP's situation, it's very important to not rush into that. So I'm glad that they have the, the outlook or the wherewithal to know that, hey, we can wait on this. Right now, I just need to find out more about myself and meet people and try having a relationship, right? So as far as like finding someone, I think that's the interesting part. And maybe I'm a bad person to ask because I've never used a dating app. Like, I have no interest in that. I'm like, I'll be I'll be alone until the day I die, or I'll meet someone. Like, it is what it is. But if you're specifically like looking for someone and you know that you want to try having a relationship or having a partner, I mean, dating apps are the way of the future. And what's kind of really good in this situation with a dating app is that you can put all this information on your profile. So I don't know. I don't know if there is a dating app for specifically like ace people. And I know like ace is one of the like acronyms or whatever, LGBTQIA plus. So I don't know if like an LGBTQ positive dating app or an ace positive dating app exists as a potential, but even if it's like a normal dating app, everyone uses like Hinge or Coffee Meets Bagel or whatever. You can put some of this information on your profile, and I think it would actually be a very positive experience. So, because here's the thing, right? In your profile, if you say like point blank that, you know, I'm an asexual or potentially demisexual person, I identify this way, but I do really want to find a partner and have that partnership with someone in my life. I think what that will do is it'll eliminate a lot of the problem, because probably the only people who are going to like match with you and start talking to you are other people that are ace or demi or aro. You're identifying yourself from the get-go, and so anyone that has any other expectations, like, you don't have to feel bad about it, because you were honest from the very beginning about what you are and the expectations that they should have about that, right? And maybe it is worth a conversation. They'll be like, hey, you said you identify as, you know, potentially demisexual or asexual and aromantic. Like, you know, I know asexual, like, I feel like I'm asexual too, but what do you mean by aromantic? Like, what does that mean to you? What would that mean to you in a relationship? You know, like, it could open up a conversation. But it's important because the people that get it will get it. And they'll be like, oh my God, like another person that says they're ace, like I'm ace. Like, this will make things so much better because we are both ace and we can connect on that level and we understand what that means and we can have similar expectations, right? It's something that you should always talk about, even in a quote unquote normal like sexual orientation and relationship. Like, you should always have a discussion, an ongoing discussion about your sexual and romantic attraction to your partner, to other people, because that changes over time and it changes with certain, I don't know, situations, affection, all of that. But from the get-go, you know, I think it'll just help like narrow down the pool to other people who know what they're getting into, right? You're not going to meet the person who wants kids tomorrow and like has the sex drive of a 16-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, that'll help, I think. And if anyone messages you and says mean things, you can report them and block them. Easy peasy. Because you are confident in who you are and what you have to offer. And if someone else is taking time to be mean, it just means that they're unsure about themselves and they don't like themselves. So easy. If you don't want to do apps though, which is fair, you can definitely meet people IRL and like go on dates. You know, if there's anyone you meet IRL that you think fits what you're looking for in a partnership and you guys think you have things in common, like ask oh God, I'm dying. Ask them on a date. You know, get to have that casual conversation with them. Find somewhere in the conversation to identify yourself as asexual, but also explain that you're young and you're still learning about yourself. I definitely think that it's worth going on dates, meeting up with people, getting into a relationship, like, to learn more about yourself and to grow as a person, because we change a lot and we learn new things about ourselves when we're in a relationship and when we come out of one, when we enter new ones, when we you just learn so much more about what you want, what you value, what you like, what you don't like. And I think that it's absolutely worth getting into one to seeing. Like, there are multiple soulmates for everybody. And I think if you're just upfront from the beginning about what kind of person you are, it'll help eliminate any potential heartbreak of other people, and it'll eliminate you feeling bad about upsetting someone and giving them unrealistic expectations, right? I think that's just what it comes down to. Yep. That's what I think anyway. I don't know why I am not having the stamina to talk today. I think it's important to not get super hung up on a specific income or a specific personality trait. The vibes pretty good as soul. Yes, I absolutely agree. That is a good point to make, because they did specify, like, they want to find someone with a similar income. You want to split responsibility 50-50 of financial chores, etc., etc. And, like, on one hand, that's a healthy outlook, but on the other hand, life isn't perfect. What if you're in a relationship with someone and you get laid off? Is your partner still gonna expect you to pay 50% of everything? Is your partner going to expect you to continue contributing to rent and paying for half of your dinners and all of that? Are they gonna work their job and still be expected to do half of the chores when you don't have a job and you're at home looking for one? You know what I mean? Like, is the responsibility shared when you both have a job, but one of you gets to work remote and one of you has to go into the office? Like, sharing 50-50 is a great ideal. However, life is rarely ideal. You can just get laid off. Isn't there a law that protects workers? No. I mean, I got laid off. I know plenty of people who just get laid off. I didn't have a job for 10 months last year because I got laid off and I couldn't find one, despite applying to, like, hundreds. Like, if a company eliminates a position, you just lose your job. It's different than getting fired, but, like, you just no longer have a job, right? Partnership doesn't always mean you're gonna both be able to work full-time jobs. Yeah, partnership in theory is that you're splitting things. However, it's not always so perfect, like, life is not perfect that way. One of you might get a promotion and then suddenly start making, like, double your salary. Like, is it still fair to say, oh, well, you make twice as much as me now, but we're gonna split rent 50-50? Like, or yeah, someone loses their job, or someone has a side gig that starts earning more money, or someone, I don't know, like, life is rarely perfect. And so you can have the idea and go into a relationship saying, like, hey, we want to split this partnership as much as we can. But in times, like, a family member, like, maybe their parent dies and they're just fucking sad and they're depressed and they can't get up to make the bed or do the laundry. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna let it sit there and say, that's your chore that you're supposed to do? I don't care that you're sad. That's your chore and you have to do it. Like, are you just, like, sometimes you need to pick up 100%, because eventually, like, the understanding of that partnership is that when you don't have it, they'll pick up 100%. It's a partnership. Like the goal is to be partners in life and split things and have someone to support you that you support. But it's not always going to be 50-50 every day, you know? Getting fired is different stories. Yeah, I'm just saying it's like the same kind of thing. In your country, if they want to lay off people, they give at least 2 months. Yeah, that's not a law here. It's not a law. I mean, a lot of companies will give you like a severance pay depending on how long you've worked for them. But I think it's very common knowledge that the American workers and American companies do not have good benefits for their employees. So yeah, I think that's pretty common knowledge that it's not the best place to work. So but yeah, I think it is like, to me, that sentiment really does show that you haven't been in a relationship and you haven't like you're young, and that's fine. I think it's also fine to it's fine to like want the ideal situation. It's just, it is important to like, you know, think about these situations. Like, how do you want that handled? Like, but you don't always know until you're in that situation, right? They have to give me more time based on how many years I spend there. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, there's a lot of states that are like, what is it called, an at-will state, and so they can literally fire you. They don't have to give you a reason. They don't have to give you anything. Yeah. So, yep. I will say that that's a good point to bring up, Tina. Like, to not focus on, don't focus on things that can change, which is going to be someone's job, someone's finances, someone's personality. What won't change is like the core of their person, you know, their values and morals. Like, that's what kind of helps you find someone. And hopefully you find someone and you grow together, like, until you die, right? But if you don't, that's okay. Like, some people are in our lives for seasons, and some people are in our lives for reasons, and some people are in our lives forever. Yeah. I mean, do you hate physical interaction, but you have desire for sex? Like, because then that's a different situation, I would say. Like, if you don't like physical touch, but you have a desire for sexual intimacy, then to me, that just says you have some sort of trauma or some sort of like mental situation with physical touch, or it makes you uncomfortable and you're anxious about it, and you need to like work through that with a therapist. But if you don't like physical interaction and you have no desire for it, then it's probably like ace and arrow, right? So it depends. Not that I can diagnose you. I'm not a therapist at all. I've no training. Like, I can't say one thing or the other about any of this. I just, you have to look at a whole perspective of something, and like knowing why you might feel a certain way and have a certain reaction is part of that, like reflecting on yourself and knowing how you tick is something that you should value. Human interaction in general sucks all energy out of me. I mean, but you're here chatting with us, like, willingly, of your own accord. So not all human interaction, right? It's like, I'm an introvert. I know what it's like to just get tired of talking to people. But it's like, why is one human interaction okay and another isn't, right? If someone truly thinks that they don't like other people and human interaction across the board is never a positive experience, then I do highly recommend therapy, because it's okay to be an introvert. I'm an introvert. Like, I need time alone and I get tired of like being around people, but having relationships with people and having support groups and, you know, having that social interaction is very important to us as humans. Our social development and being able to like be in society and have people that's super important. It's okay to like get tired of it and not want to do it every day, but it's important that you do it and you have those good experiences. We are social creatures, and when we don't have relationships like that and we don't have a positive social stimula, I guess, like, it's very detrimental for our brains, for us. It's detrimental. So yeah, I mean, you would need to look at yourself and say, okay, why is like physically talking the thing that like makes me upsetting if I'm okay with chatting? And then it sounds like you probably just need to like reintroduce yourself to society and to people and work through that. Therapy for sure. I mean, I've lived alone for quite a long time, but because I was living alone, I was forcing myself to interact with people. Like, you have to force that. You may not want to. Like, I love my family. I don't want to go over like every single week necessarily. Like, I want to be at home alone in my apartment, but I know it's good for me to see them and to interact with them and hug them and talk to them and be there. Like, I know that that's good for me, and I always feel better afterwards. Even if I'm tired, it's better for me, right? Like, I'm gonna go drive fucking 45 minutes tomorrow to go see my best friend. Do I really want to do that? Not really. But I know it's good for me and it's important to me and I care about her. And so it's, you know, it's something that you have to do for yourself. But you have to be willing and wanting to improve yourself and change. So yeah. And therapists can help you with that. Anyway. Enough about ACE and human interaction and how to date. We have another OP that needs help. We have another OP that requires our attention. And this OP said something that I feel like every single person in this chat could understand. Right, Divi? It's important. Those things are important. Okay, so OP says, I have a hard time staying on top of everything in my life and get overwhelmed and paralyzed by how much there is to do, which means more things pile up. And then I'm even more paralyzed and overwhelmed. I've tried breaking down tasks into little lists and smaller, more accomplishable tasks, but then it feels even more overwhelming because it's more things to do. I don't know how to break the cycle, and I blame myself for not being able to just deal with it. Big sis, how do I start being a functioning human being? Bruh, if that's not literally all of us, literally everybody in this chat right now, like, if that isn't literally me right now, dare I say, just do it. I mean, yeah. Just do it, right? I think a lot of people, a lot of procrastinators, they procrastinate the thing they don't want to do. And while they do that, they do the things they want to do, but they don't actually enjoy the things they want to do as much as they could because they're procrastinating, and that's weighing on your mind. And then when you've procrastinated everything, now you suddenly have like days worth of shit to do. It's even worse and you don't know where to start. Hey, I mean, a lot of us get into this cycle, myself included. So I don't mean to rag on you. I don't mean to make you feel bad. It happens to everybody. And if I'm completely honest, like, life is overwhelming. Adulthood is overwhelming. And I honestly don't think that life is designed for one person alone to live it and survive and thrive. Like, it's not designed for that in our society. So don't feel bad that you're struggling to be an adult by yourself. It's difficult and it's different than it used to be. So the expectations that our parents or generations or society have built up on you, like, do your best to ignore them and know that life is different and no one except for you can live your life and understand it. You should know what's best for you, and you clearly know that you need to and want to do better. So all we can go is up, right? We go up from here. So there's a few different things we can do. Getting most things done is what I strive for. Sometimes that means my house is a little messy, but that's how it is. Yeah, there's always a priority, right? So for me, I will say, like, one thing that I notice about me is when my house is cluttered or dirty or messy, it impacts my mood more and impacts my motivation more than other things. So I do try to keep up with, like, keeping a clean kitchen or vacuuming the cat litter up like every other day. Like, I do try to keep up with those things because I know those things have a bigger impact. There's important things, right? Like paying your rent or your mortgage and, you know, feeding yourself and bathing yourself. Like, there are things that, like, you have to do or, like, literally someone's going to hunt you down, right? So prioritize those. And figure out what works for you. Here's some ideas that maybe, like, OP hasn't thought of, but I know nowadays there's a lot of productivity apps. There's a ton of them depending on, like, what you want. And I was going to post this link in chat to just this article that has a bunch of different, like, lists of apps that were, like, the best, and they have kind of, like, a broken down. So I'm just going to post a link for that. Depending on what kind of productivity app that you might be looking for, like a focus app or like a to-do list app or a habit tracker app, like, depending on how you want to organize it. But you can use an app, like set up like a productivity app, or just use a calendar if you don't want to get an app. But a productivity app can help you, you know, and just start small. Like, just download the app and, like, you know, organize what chores you want to do on what day and, like, just fucking start. And if Wednesday is the day that you vacuum and clean your toilet, then, like, do that. It should only take you like 5-10 minutes and you've done your shit for the day. And then guess what? The next week or 2 weeks later, when you have to do it again, like, everything else has been caught up with, right? If you're just doing, like, if you have something kind of keeping you on task, right? So I haven't personally tried any apps, so I can't testify to any. I do want to try some, because I don't like to clutter up my calendar. But you could alternatively just pick all of the chores you need to do and put them in your calendar under a certain label, like under a color, and have it notify you every day, or you check it every day, like, and you know, these are the things I have to do. And, like, hey, I can't go to bed until I do these things, you know? You can also set, like, phone alarms for yourself, and it can go off, like, every day at a certain time for, like, different tasks or different chores, different things you need to do. So that's a good one too. Like, I'll use a phone alarm to remind me to do something quite a lot, because you can put a note in. So usually it's like one-off things like, oh, don't forget to take your laptop to the office. Like I have a timer for that on the days I go to the office, because maybe I accidentally left it plugged in the night before and I don't want to forget it. But you can do that like every day for life things. Yeah. I think another idea is the Pomodoro method. If there's anyone who is from my friend Seiji Soldier from his chat or know of him, like he does this a lot for his co-working streams, but you can use a Pomodoro method. You can work for 25 minutes and then clean for 5 minutes, or work for 45 minutes or clean for 15, or play a game for 45 minutes. And then when you are done, when the timer goes off, you set a timer for 15 minutes and you do your chores. Or 25 and 5, or like 30 and 7, or like whatever time works for you depending on what you're doing. But a lot of people have had a lot of success with Pomodoro, and there's been studies about it. It's really, really, really useful. And it kind of breaks down your time. Like if you only have a timer for 5 minutes, you have to hustle. Like you can't be distracted for 5 minutes. You can't be sitting on the toilet on your phone for 5 minutes. Your 5 minutes is going to be done. 3 TikToks in and suddenly the timer's going off and you've got to get back to work. Like if you only have 5 minutes, like you're going to have to like hustle, you know? And 5 minutes will be done in no time at all. So if, you know, you have a weekend where you're like, oh, I need to get some shit done, I've got to do some work or whatever, or man, I just want to game all day, do the Pomodoro method and make your, like, force yourself to have that balance, you know? I have seen, you might have to Google it if you look up like ADHD chore monster or something. Like I've seen people make these like worksheets where it's like a boss monster from a video game, and they have like a bunch of stuff listed, and you roll a d20, and whatever you roll is like what you do, and then once you do it, it has a value, and that's like how much HP you damage the boss monster, and then eventually you kill the boss monster, right? And you've done all the chores. So you can kind of make it into a game like that. You can just do a few, right? Like you roll the dice, and when you're tired or you run out of time, like you're done for the day and you come back the next day and do it. Calendar, Pomodoro, productivity app. Something that I implement a lot is I don't let myself do what I want until I do at least like 1 or 2 chores. Because I know I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm going to be thinking about the shit I have to do. So it's like I don't let myself do the fun things until I do the less fun things that I have to do as an adult, right? Hey, Victor, welcome. Drive a few hours, stop and stretch. Yeah, it's really important to do those kind of things. Yes, same, Matt. I do kind of the same thing. Yeah. You have a friend who puts all her chores on a wheel spinner? That's a good one, too. Hey, Artsy. I miss you, too. It's good to see you. Welcome back, Fauna. Yep. I don't let myself have fun until I'm done being productive. Or there could be, like, a productive thing that I want to do, but it's less important. For example, like, I wanted to edit a TikTok, but I was like, I want to edit a TikTok. However, I need to do the dishes. So I can't edit that TikTok until I clean my fucking kitchen. Like at some point you just have to be disciplined enough with yourself. And the thing is, if you slowly build up these habits, and if you just start somewhere, and eventually like you're going to make a full circle and everything will be like picked up and put in place. Especially if you do things weekly. There is a study actually. There's this like, I don't know, ideal in Japanese culture, that you'll be wealthy and successful if you clean your toilet every morning. There's a whole theory behind it. But literally like the CEO of fucking Toyota or some shit, or like some very large Japanese company CEOs, multiple, literally wake up and clean their toilet every morning. Imagine cleaning your toilet every morning. First of all, if you did it every morning, it'd probably take like 5 seconds. And secondly, it's like you're starting the day. Like, it's really interesting. It's like it puts you in a good headspace. And a lot of them attribute their success to doing something like that. So, you know, start your day by making your bed. That's very important psychologically. Make your fucking bed. Do you hear me, chat? Every morning when you wake up and get out of bed, you better fucking make your bed. Okay? Number one rule, you make your goddamn bed. You'll be better for it. Throw your pillows up. Spread your blanket out. I don't care if you tuck everything in a quarter fold, blah, 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 blah. Iron it out. Like, I don't care, but make your bed. You should always do that because it's psychologically proven to actually make you more productive and happier. So, yes. Another suggestion that I had for OP here is if you're struggling to like get caught up and things feel overwhelming and it's like, I just need some help getting caught up. If I can catch up and start over, like, you know, I'll use this app to keep up with things or whatever. Ask for help. We're only human. We're not perfect. We need help sometimes. Ask your mom, ask a friend, ask a sibling, ask whoever to come help you catch up. Maybe you just need someone to talk to you while you clean so you don't feel bad about yourself. Like, maybe you need someone to come help you sort through clothes and do your dishes and vacuum and say, hey, I just need help. I'll order us a pizza. Will you help me? Like, I want to be better, but I'm feeling overwhelmed. Will you help me? Everyone should feel like they have someone they can ask to help them. And you know what? Everyone should have someone that wants to come help them. I know that I could ask my mom to come help me and she'd come over tomorrow and she would spend the entire day with me cleaning and organizing my apartment. Because we've done it before. Sometimes you just need help. And when they like help you catch up, it puts you on the road to success, right? I will say though that it is possible that OP, like, you know, I can't diagnose you, but it is possible that you're depressed, you have anxiety issues, you could have ADHD. There are a lot of things that could be going on that can affect you properly adulting. So it is worth talking to a therapist and just like making sure that there's not something undiagnosed here, because you know, if you do have ADHD or you do have anxiety issues, there could be medication that you can take that will make a huge difference. There could be coping mechanisms that you'd never heard of that a therapist can teach you. There could be very specific things to your situation that like we can't help you with, but a therapist can. So I will say, like, you know, there is some room, some wiggle room here. You know, it's probably not that you're like lazy. It's just that you're overwhelmed, and that's okay. At some point you just have to like have the discipline to do it. But it's okay to need help to get the discipline. I will say, if there's one thing that has made the biggest difference for me, and again, I'm not perfect, I fall into this cycle a lot. I'm very busy. I work like a 40-hour job. I stream. I have to prep stream, right? I have to do side content for stream, right? I talk in Discord. I edit and post TikToks. I make tweets. I make Blue Sky posts. Like, I commission and look for artists. Like, I have to adjust like stream settings and all kinds. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, right? It takes a lot of time. I have a family I see. I have friends that like have expectations to see me. I have, you know, real life events that happen. People get married. People are in town. Like, I have a cat I have to take care of and play with. Like, I'm a very, very busy person. And when I get overwhelmed, like, things fall to the wayside. I completely understand this person. But something that has helped me a lot is to meal prep, like plan my meals, especially during my most busy times, which is like Monday to Friday. Plan my meals and always like shut down my kitchen. Like I have a closing routine before I go to bed, and like shutting down my kitchen, making sure that's clean, doing my night routine and all of that really, really has helped me a lot. Hey, Buffa, how are you? Yeah, being an adult is hard. And it's a difficult adjustment, but with the help and support of technology, of productivity apps, of friends or family, therapists, all of that, like you can get through it. You can build up the discipline. I believe in you, OP. Okay. Okay. We have one final situation, one final scenario. I feel like I need more water. I've been talking so much. Can I get more water? Will you guys mind? I'm gonna get water. Guys, I chugged an energy drink right before this. How am I exhausted and yawning? How am I so tired? All right, like I feel like after this I can take a shower and go to bed. Like what the heck? I just drank it before stream started 2 hours ago. How did it already wear off? There's no fear. I just want to know what it's like to not be sleepy. That's all. All right. I overdosed. I OD'd on caffeine. I didn't drink anything until then, though. Okay. So for our last OP today, you have too much chalky milk. Oh man, I love chalky milk. I want chalky milk. I haven't had chalky milk in a long time. That sounds so good. I have to figure out what to eat after this. I have my leftover curry, but I kind of don't want it. But I need to eat it because I kind of need to finish it today, probably. I don't know. Okay. So our last poster, our last OP, is really similar to another one we talked about earlier. In some regards. But I think yeah, I think you guys will find a lot of value in this one, and we'll have a lot to talk about with this one. So without further ado, recently I fell for you know what? I should totally change my voice when I read these. Like I should turn on my mixer and have a little voice changer, so that you guys know it's not me. It's like the poster. I'll play around with it. You guys can let me know next time. But okay. So recently I fell for someone, and we get along great and have really bonded and become best friends. Yeah, like a chipmunk voice, you know? I told her my feelings, and she said she was flattered and wanted to accept them. Oh, I've got a Yuki up here. Okay. I told her my feelings. They were flattered and wanted to accept them, but there was someone else as well. They weren't sure who to choose. In the end, they chose the other person. I'm happy for them because I value our friendship and their happiness, but deep down, I feel sad and alone. I'm slowly recovering from this heartbreak. I had my feelings because I don't want to bother anyone. This isn't the first time something like this has happened to me, where there's someone else with a love interest. Whenever it does, I tend to not do anything or push them towards the other person because I'm afraid if I say anything like, choose me, or fight for someone I care about, it'll come out as creepy or controlling. Especially since in my eyes, I'm not attractive and feel like they're better off with the other person than they are with me. I struggle and have a bad self-image because everyone around me tends to bring me down and makes me feel like I'm not good for anything. Is it wrong putting others that you love first, putting their happiness and well-being over your own, even if it means getting hurt and not trying your best to have your own happiness because you feel like it will be selfish? There's a lot to say about this. First and foremost, I will start with therapy. Please, OP, try therapy. I can tell just from this paragraph, we all need a therapist, honestly, but I can tell from this that you really do need a therapist. Oh, is your eye okay, bud? Okay. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, I could tell something was wrong with you or anything like that. Like, don't take this offensively, but to feel like this, you very much, you need to talk to someone professionally about it. That being said, like, you need to know your worth. Everyone is valuable. Everyone is worthy of love. Everyone thinks poorly of themselves. Like, models get cheated on, for fuck's sake. Like, it doesn't matter how beautiful or ugly you are. Like, it's about finding a connection. That's what matters. If you feel this way about yourself and you get into a relationship, it will not work. Like, period. Like, if you feel this way about yourself and you get a partner, if you told this person, you told her your feelings and they accepted them and you started dating, your relationship would not work, because if you don't love yourself, like, no one else can make you love yourself. Other people won't make you feel love for yourself until you actually love yourself. They can help you, but they can't force you to feel a different way. Like, how would you feel, okay, if your partner said, oh, in my eyes, I'm not attractive and I think you're better off with someone else? Like, you'd feel like shit that they feel like shit. Like, you'd question what that says about, like, your taste and what they think about your taste, right? Like, oh, this person that I love thinks they're worthless, but I think they're amazing and I chose to be with them. So what does that mean that they, like, what does that mean in regards to what they think about how I feel? Like, does that mean they don't believe me? They don't trust me? Like, it's such a logical loop, right? If you think this way, you can't be in a successful relationship. Like, you simply can't. You need to learn to love yourself as you are. And you need to know your own worth. Like, you deserve to be with someone that chooses you in the same way that, you know, they deserve to be with someone that chooses them, right? When it comes to feeling, if you think you're unattractive, you know, find ways to feel attractive. So I feel like in general, when you feel unattractive, like you put very little effort into how you look and how you present yourself and how you take care of yourself. So if you're feeling unattractive, I want you to try out different fashion. I want you to make an effort in your appearance, in your skincare routine, in your health, the kinds of foods that you eat, like your fitness, whatever. I'm not telling you to like go to the gym and get a fucking six pack. I'm just saying if you're not putting any effort into yourself, then your feelings about yourself will not change. And everyone deserves to feel attractive, especially if they want to feel attractive by someone else. Like they want, like, oh man, this person thinks I'm cute. Like that's such a good fucking feeling. And you won't feel that way if you don't like put some effort into yourself. Like you deserve to put effort into yourself. You deserve to wear clothes that make you feel good. You deserve to take care of your skin. You deserve to put good food into your body that's going to fuel you and make you feel good. You deserve all of those things. So you need to take steps, first of all, to better yourself in this way. You need to see a therapist. You need to know your worth, and you need to make steps to feel better about yourself. Like, period. That's great, Divi. That means that you're in a place where you can handle your own like trauma and life. And like maybe down the road you'll need to go see a therapist again. But that's the goal, right? It's not to see a therapist all the time, right? It's like they teach you coping mechanisms and help you work through your mental situations. Anyway, so about the situation, they also mentioned that other people, they said everyone around them tends to bring them down and makes them feel like they're not good for anything. And that was another thing that stuck out to me that I have a really big problem with. Yuki, no. If people around you are bringing you down and they make you feel not worthy, you need to fucking leave. You need to leave their ass. Like, those are mean kids. Like, those are mean girls. They're using you to feel better about themselves. And we don't let mean girls own us. Like, fuck them. Let them rot. We find people who are worthy of our attention and worthy of our friendship because we are worthy, okay? So if there are people in your life that make you feel worthless, that make you feel like you are not good for anything, absolutely fucking drop those people. Because they are doing nothing for you. They are not serving you in any way. There is not one good thing about that. But you know what you're doing for them? You're giving them like fuel to, instead of like, you know, better themselves and face their own fucking demons, they're using you as an excuse. They're fucking with your life and how you feel to feel better about themselves. Like, and nobody deserves that. If there are people around you, OP, that make you feel that way, you need to fucking cut them out. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's like the only friends you have. Find new ones and drop these people. Like, block them. Don't talk to them. Like, do not give them the time of day. They don't deserve it. Nobody, if you make someone feel worthless, then you don't deserve like to have a friend. If you make someone feel like they're worthless and good for nothing, you need to be better. And OP, you deserve better than that. All those points aside. Oh, Yuki. Why do you keep getting in the way, bud? It's stream time. You gotta be over here. Yeah, it's a good boy. It's a good boy. Sorry, cat break. It's a good boy, baby. Yeah, good boy. Okay. So, now that we've addressed the what's it called? Like the specifics of the situation, I want to get down to the like meat of the actual question. And the actual question that OP posed was basically, is it wrong to put others that I care about and love like above myself? Like, is it wrong for me to put their happiness and well-being over my own happiness and well-being? Even if it means that I get hurt, even if it means that I'm not trying my best for my own happiness, because I feel like it'll be selfish, like, is it so wrong to do that? And I can kind of personally relate to that. I don't want to make this about me. It's not about me. I'm giving you guys advice, but I can personally understand that. That was like fuel for my own fire of life for a long time. And so I truly do think, like, to a point, to an extent, it's not wrong. However, everything in moderation, right? It is good to genuinely care about other people. It's important to know when not being selfish, like, is good, right? Like, every relationship is a give or take. Sometimes in a friendship, like, you need to give more than you're getting, and sometimes in a friendship, you need to receive more than you're giving. Like, nothing's ever perfect. And sometimes in our lives, we need to be more selfish, and sometimes in our lives, we have more to give. And I think that it is very valuable to care so much about people, to like put their happiness above yours. You know, it's good to have that humility and that empathy and that sympathy for people that you care about. Not everybody. You shouldn't be putting everybody above your own well-being. But I think that some of us are just highly empathetic people, and we're going to care about others more than ourselves. And that's okay in little bits. But you have to know when it's important to be selfish. You have to know when it's important to, you know, listen to yourself. You have to know what you deserve and when you deserve it. Because if you truly care about these people, hey baby, come here. So if you truly care about these people, if you consider them friends or family, they wouldn't want to know that you're sacrificing yourself for them. You know, like, let's say you work yourself to death, literal work yourself to death, because you want to support someone who's having a hard time, a friend that you care about, that you love. How do you think that person's going to feel when they find out that you literally starved yourself, worked yourself to death for them? Like, that's going to be upsetting. If it's someone worth caring about, if it's someone worthy of your kind of love, they are going to be very upset when they find out how much you sacrifice for them. You know, like I said, it's good sometimes, it's not good all the time. And if we delve specifically into this situation, right? This specific situation of, you know, this person has a love interest. The love interest is like torn between them and another person or whatever. I would say if something like this ever comes up again, you don't want to be passive. Because who are they gonna choose? Are they gonna choose the person that gives them space and is passive, or are they gonna choose the person that, like, you know, is continuing to demonstrate like why they care about them? It's a good boy. there is a way to like, you don't have to tell them like, oh, choose me, or like, oh, I'm fighting for them. Like, you don't have to be mean. You just don't have to be passive. You don't need to tell them anything. You just need to show them, right? Like, if you've told them that you have feelings for them and whatever, like, start treating them like you're dating them, honestly. Like, if they're like, oh, okay, I just need some time to think about it, like, I haven't thought about you this way, or I have someone else that like also admitted that to me, like, can I have some time, like, to like sort through my feelings? Like, honestly, show them what it would be like to date them, you know? Like, show them what that would be like. Like, don't give them the whole fucking cake for free, but you know, you've admitted feelings. As far as I'm concerned, like, you're free to treat them how you want to at that point. Like, are they gonna pick the person that's being passive and shrewd and shy? No, they're gonna pick the one that shows up with the flowers to go take them for, you know, your weekly coffee date. Or they're gonna pick the person who like is taking time to prioritize them, right? So I would say in that situation, like, you don't want to be passive. The passive person doesn't win. You can be nice without being passive. You can be respectful without being passive. On the other hand, though, you also deserve someone who chooses you. So if they didn't choose you, like, that's their loss, and it wouldn't have worked out anyway, right? Like, they didn't choose you. You deserve someone that chooses you. And I think it's fair, like, for someone to, you know, want time to think about it or whatever, especially if, like, you know, they didn't think about it that way. Or maybe they're getting over a heartbreak or whatever. Like, I think it's fair to let someone work through their own feelings, but in the end, they need to choose you. You deserve someone that chooses you. Ultimately, like, this OP here, there's so much to discuss and so much that needs to be taken care of, but for the very specific situation of, you know, you being sad and feeling alone because this person didn't pick you, they decided that they didn't want to date you, I want you to know this: they are just one person. Just one single person. How many people are in here? I can count at least 10 names that I've seen just in this chat room. Like, this girl is just one person. There are 330 million people in the United States. I looked it up. There's 448 million people in the EU. There's 7.8 billion people in the whole fucking world. So don't lose your marbles over one fucking person. One person. Don't let one person have that kind of power over your whole life. Okay? It is one person. One person that didn't choose you. They don't deserve to have an impact on your life like this. For one person, you know, that didn't reciprocate your feelings. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be like, oh man, I'm sad about that. Now I have to work through my feelings and get over it. That's okay. But don't give them this power endlessly. Okay? Take the power back. It's just one person. And there's not just one person out there for everybody. We all have so many soulmates. We all have so many people out there that would make amazing partners for us. It's just finding them, you know? It's finding them at the right time in our lives when we're in the right place to actually be a worthy, good partner, which we're all worthy. We all have that potential to be a good partner. We might not all be in the right place in our life to provide that for someone, and that's okay. You have to know about yourself when you're in the right place or not. I'll be honest, OP is not in the right place right now, and that's okay. you're still gonna fall in love with people, even if you're not in the right place. You know, you sound like a very sympathetic, like emotional person. And that's great. But you have to be able to, you know, still choose your own happiness, right? You have to have control over your emotions enough to know, you know, when one person is having power over your life, over, you know, how much time is this person worth? Like, you're giving all this time to this one person, but you're not giving any time to yourself to like work on these things, right? Like, give yourself the time that you deserve. Take care of yourself. No one else can live our lives for us. And we might think we're doing so much for the people we care about, but, you know, if they actually care about us, they'll be upset. And if they don't care about us, they won't care. Like, they won't remember you when you're out of their life. Like, don't let your efforts go in vain. Don't let your care, don't let your time, don't let your emotions be wasted on people that aren't worth it. There are so many people in the world. Just find new ones. Just find new ones. It's hard, but it's way less hard to find new people than it is to be with shitty people. Or be with people that don't deserve us or don't serve us. So that's really about all I have to say to OP. OP really, really hit me in my heartstrings. Like, I was feeling real passionate about this one. You know, I mean it genuinely when I say, know your worth. Everyone is valuable. Everyone is worthy of love. But you have to, you know, you have to take care of yourself. You have to value yourself. And then once you start doing that, you will find people that value you, that are worthy of you. So, you got rejected so much that it took you less than a day to get over it. Yeah. I mean, that can happen too. Exposure therapy. Yes, a girl once via text. She rejected you a year later via the same text. Oh, yikes. Maybe it was to make a point to not confess over text. I don't know. It could have been. It could have been a little bit of a point, you know? But yeah, I think that's about it for me for advice today. I don't think I have any more advice to give. There's a few submissions for next time, so I'll be working on those for the next time we have Big Sis advice from beyond the grave. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any parting thoughts? A penny for your trouble. Thanks for all the advice. You're welcome, man. Anytime. I mean, I feel like I give a lot of advice on the day-to-day. I feel like we talk a lot about life. We give a lot of advice in stream on the daily. But it is interesting to see, you know, a bunch of advice altogether. A lot of it comes down to care about yourself and get therapy. But I tried to get specific when I could, so I hope that helps out. You're welcome, Divvy. You were grinding your life away? What were you grinding? Grind on me. That's what that made me think of. Okay, let me see who's live that like we could go send to. I will post the VOD. And I'll post it on YouTube as well. Excuse me. So if anyone wants to like rewatch it or whatever, we'll be able to. Okay, let's see. I appreciate you guys. Define, I'm glad I could be there. Work stuff and Yu-Gi-Oh! Getting feet ash. I need feet ash. I forgot to DM Prince last night about that. That's okay. Let's see. Who do I want to? Who do we want to go hang out with right now? I'm torn. Oh. Who do we want to go hang out with? Let's see. I know, Prince. I forgot to message you about that yesterday. Ugh. Oh, true. Oh, that's true, huh? Okay. I love to celebrate special things. So we'll probably do that. Okay. Someone spent $400. Oh my god. Holy. I don't have $400 to spend on that game. So I hope I get a little luckier than that. Alright, it is Iris's birthday. Oh no, guys, please don't put that energy. I'm already so unlucky. I'm knocking on wood. Don't do that to me. I can't spend money on this. I have a credit card bill to pay. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, you know, we're gonna do our best. You didn't use all your gems? I've done 110 pull and I didn't get it. And I have no gems, so I gotta work on that. Okay. Okay, guys, we're gonna go raid Iris because hold on. It is their birthday. I forgot. I think I saw that their correct pronouns are they, them now. We can double check when we get there. However, yeah, it's their birthday, so we're gonna go say happy birthday and raid Ivy. They're always very nice and friendly. I think they're playing Lethal Company right now, which I know people enjoy that. So even if it's not your vibe, if you can raid with me and at least lurk around for a little bit, I would really appreciate it because we love to celebrate people's birthday. I always want everyone to feel very loved and special on their birthday. So we'll do that. I will post a schedule for next week. Tomorrow, no stream tomorrow. I think I'm gonna be in a special collab for like Galentine's on Tuesday, and we'll do something special on Wednesday. Anyway, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night or day wherever you are. Please drink plenty of water. I will see you guys on Discord. Oyasumi mata ne. Bye guys. I love you. Go be good to yourself.